Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jimmy and welcome to my new video. So what I'll be doing in this video is doing a demonstration and review of some relatively new Lightroom presets developed by Silky Presets. So what I'll be covering in this video is I'll be doing a quick overview of some different presets which are developed for Adobe Lightroom. So I'll start off on their website and show you the different presets available, and then we'll come back over into Lightroom 5 and just show you some examples on these different photos that I have in front of me here. And then I'll end things off by going over some different feedbacks and my final opinion on the preset pack as a whole, and then I'll go over how you can purchase the presets if you're interested, as well as a promo code at the end of the video. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Here we are over on the Silky Presets website, which the link will be down in the description, and here is their About Us page where you can read a little bit about their company as well as the people who have helped develop it, as well as test the different presets. So if you're interested, you can read more about that. Okay, so over here on their collections page, you can see they've got 6 different preset collections here, as well as different adjustment kits up here. Now each different preset collection focuses on a different style of photography. So we've got this Silky Shine collection here, which is more of the clean edit style presets, so kind of contrast and vibrance and just more simple and really clean looking edits. Moving down here, we've got the Silky Silver collection, which is more monochrome and sepia style presets. Then we've got the Silky Smooth collection, which is kind of matte style presets or faded style presets, which a lot of people seem to be into right now. So these are really great for kind of skin tones and outdoor shooting and softening shadows and stuff like that. Then we've got the Soft collection here, which is kind of a mix between the clean edit and smooth presets. Really great for weddings and newborns, as you can see in their different examples here. Then we've got the Spring collection down here, which are great for outdoor shooting and enhancing kind of natural light portraits. And then the Summer collection here, which is more retro and vintage style presets. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely check these ones out. So moving back up, we've got the adjustment kits as I mentioned here, and these aren't complete presets like the rest of them. If you're unfamiliar with what adjustment kits are, they pretty much let you adjust every single aspect of the photo in simple presets instead of playing around with it yourself. So what I'll be doing now is jumping back over into Adobe Lightroom 5. Now I'm not going to go over every single one of these photos because I've tried that in a previous recording and it just took way too long. So instead what I'll be doing is choosing a few different photos and going over the different preset packs for each one, and then I might show you the before and after of the rest of the photos just so you can get a general idea about what the presets can do. Okay, so let's jump across into the Develop tab in Lightroom and start off with this photo here. So just by taking a quick look at the before and after, you can see there is quite a big difference, especially in toning and lighting. So what we're going to do is reset this and just start at the top of our presets. So for this one, I thought the Spring collection worked the best, and let's just go through a couple of the different presets so you can get a general idea about how the different ones work. Now, if you keep an eye on the navigator window in the top left here as I run my mouse over these presets, you can see it's automatically updating with a general idea about what these presets are going to look like, and that in my opinion is one of the biggest advantages of using presets. So going through this list here, you can see there's quite a big variety. There's cool ones, there's warmer tones, more pink tones, more faded and more bright kind of presets. So there's really a wide variety of different kind of options that you can have. So as you can see, we've got this kind of magenta look here, which is fairly nice. Or we can go down and get this kind of more warmer and cleaner edit down here, or we can go something a lot darker such as this one here, which is this really thick dark silhouetted kind of preset. However, for this particular photo I found this one here, Front Porch, to work the best. So let's use this as our starting point. So what I'll do now is I'll quickly demonstrate a few of the different things for the adjustment kits. So as you can see, the 3 different kits here: Basic, Advanced, and Finishing Touches. So if we expand the Basics one here, you can see you've got things such as color balance, exposure, contrast, shadows and highlights, as well as clarity. So pretty much most things that are in the Basics panel over on the right hand side here. Looking at this photo now, you can see the highlights are a tiny bit too bright outside here and the shadows are a tiny bit too dark. This was more of a snapshot, which is why it's not obviously the best looking photo in the world. But what we might do now is kind of bring the contrast down a little bit just by clicking there, and then we might bring the highlights down and the shadows up. Now that we've done that though, we might add a little bit more contrast back in, and then we might even add a little bit of clarity into it there. So as you can see, within about 5 clicks we've gone from this into something that looks like this, and in my opinion that looks quite a bit better. So what we might do now is move along to this photo here and demonstrate a different preset collection. So let's just reset this photo here. So obviously for this photo I wanted something black and white, so let's go into the silver preset collection and check out a few of these ones. Okay, so going through these different silver presets here, you can see there's everything from really thick black and whites to kind of light sepia ones and everything in between. So for this particular photo I'm looking for something pretty high contrast, such as this one here. However, let's try and find one that's completely black and white, such as this one here. So I'm fairly happy with this photo now. However, I think it is a little bit too contrasty and we need a little bit more detail back in the shadows. So obviously with our adjustment kits it's very easy to fix, so all we need to do is make the photo a little bit brighter and then subtract a little bit of contrast like so. So there we go. Again, in about 3 or 4 clicks you can see we've transformed our photo from this into this. So it's very simple and very easy to do. Okay, so let's move along to this photo here, and I'll use this one to demonstrate a little bit more about the adjustment kits. So let's reset this one here and start from scratch. So for this photo here I'm going to use the spring collection down here, and I found this one here called Leapfrog, which is absolutely one of my favorite presets. As you can see, it's transformed this photo from this kind of plain photo to this really nice kind of dreamy looking faded photo, as you can see here. However, there are a few things that we can improve on, so let's check out the other adjustment kits. Now the first thing I might do is boost the shadows a little bit to get a bit of detail in the rose petals up here. So to do that we'll just go down here and click Shadows, Lightened it, and as you can see it's boosted the shadows a little bit. So moving down, let's check out the advanced adjustment kits. So in this one we've got things such as color enhancements, tone curves, and more selective saturations, such as skin tones, blues, and greens. So let's start things off by enhancing all the colors very slightly like so, and we'll move down to the tone curves. Now Liberty has done an absolutely fantastic job creating these different tone curves, and let me explain why. So you can see there's 10 different tone curves here, all with different amounts of contrast, brightness, and fading. So by fading what I mean is this kind of matte look, which is what she's called it, and you can see it on the photo at the moment. So if we click on the tone curve 1, which is the clean tone curve, you can see that faded or kind of matte look completely disappears from the photo, and what we're left with is a very clean edit. So the great thing about these tone curves is you can turn any of the clean edit presets into a more matte style preset, such as this one here, or you can of course do the opposite and turn any of the matte presets into a more clean style edit. So it's really great, and it gives you a lot of control, and it really opens up the presets, and it kind of helps you develop your own look instead of just solely relying on the presets. So the final thing we're going to do with the adjustment kits here is just choose this one here, which is Skinless Red, and as you can see, as I click this, it's going to start removing some of the redness from his hands here as well as on her arm. So if we just click that, you can see it's just kind of evened out the skin tones a little more. And that's pretty much it for that adjustment kit. So going through a couple of these other photos quickly, just before and afters, you can see this is a more clean style preset. We've still got that slight kind of matte look to it in their clothing, and we've got a nice pink tone overall. Moving along to this one, this is a much cleaner edit. It's very simple, just basic contrast and clarity and everything like that. Again, a very simple edit for this one here. So if we have a look at the before and after, it's just really made the image pop that little bit more. Moving along to this one here, we've got more of a dreamy style preset if we look at the before and after. This one here, again, a bit more of a simple edit if we look at the before and after on this one. On the water one here, it's a very simple one, but it's really nice matte and enhancing preset here. And let's finish off by having a look at one of these landscape photos. So I took this in Melbourne a few months ago, and let's just reset this one here. Okay, so now that we've reset it, let's go down into the spring collection here, which work fairly well for landscape photography. Now there are a few presets in each individual collection which do work surprisingly well for landscape photography, since I do believe they're made primarily for portrait photography. So in the spring collection here, I'm going to go down to this Leapfrog preset here, and as you can see, it's just basically enhanced the image overall. So what we're going to do now is check out the final adjustment kit, which is the finishing touches. So in this kit here, we've got things such as vignette controls, we've got kind of light bursts or light gradients, then we've got enhancing presets for skies and foregrounds, as well as noise reduction and sharpening. So what I might start off by doing is darkening and enhancing the sky. Now as you can see, this is a very extreme preset, however it is simple enough just to fix it just by going into the controls here. So what I might do is dial down the saturation quite a bit and bring up the exposure and bring down the contrast and bring up the clarity and maybe bring down the saturation a little bit more. That way we're just getting a very slight enhance, and with the clarity boost it also helps enhance the edges of the clouds, which I quite like the look of. So from there I think the greens are a little bit too saturated, so what I might do is click grass less green, which helps reduce the saturation of the grass. And as you can see, again with just a few clicks, we've just really created some nice enhancements to this landscape photo. Okay, so moving on to the last photo here, you can see this is just another landscape photo, and again just very nice enhancements, very simple, and a very clean edit. Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm going to show the presets in this video, so it doesn't get too long. However, if you want more information on each preset, if you click on any one of the collections here and scroll down, you can see Liberty has posted a before and after of every single preset available, which gives you a very good idea about what you're getting in each collection or what each individual preset does on its own. So what I'm going to do now is just go over some general feedback about things that I would like to see within the preset collection. Now the first one is some more controls for different gradients. So as you can see, we've got these presets for things like Darken and Enhance Sky or Lighten Foreground. However, I wouldn't mind seeing one for something like Darken Foreground because I think it's a very good look, especially for landscape photography. So just by dropping the exposure very slightly on the foreground, you can see you create a very nice subtle effect just to help draw the viewer's attention into the photo. Now this may not work completely well for a lot of portrait photography, but if someone who likes to venture into landscape photography a bit gets this preset collection, it definitely would be a great addition. Now on top of that, I do believe the Darken and Enhance Sky preset is a bit too extreme, so you can see it on this photo here, it's just way too saturated and way too dark. Now again, this might work well for some portrait photography, I'm not too sure, but it would be good to see a more subtle effect as well, so maybe an optional preset which kind of maybe does about half that, so it darkens it very slightly and doesn't boost the saturation quite as much, so you get a nice subtle effect like that one there. Now another preset which I would absolutely love to see is a preset to actually add grain. So I'm a big fan of adding grain into my photos, and I know a lot of people are at the moment, especially using the Visco presets and stuff like that. So just by adding something like 30 grain and bringing the size down a little bit and the roughness down, you can see it just creates a very nice fine grain over the whole image, and it just helps give a great feel to certain images such as these ones, or maybe some black and white ones. So that could be another possibility that Liberty could look at, and just developing a couple of presets for some fine grain or something like that. One of the final additions I would like to see is some actual presets for the gradual and radial filters as well as the adjustment brushes. Now I have been informed that she is developing some for the adjustment brushes at the moment, as well as a new Glamour preset collection pack, which is great to hear, but also adding some presets under these actual drop down menus here would be a great addition. So in this drop down selection here, you could have things like Darken and Enhance Sky in this one here, and that would give people a little more control over how gradual and how big the effect is going to be, as well as in the radial filters and stuff like that. So apart from those small nitpick kind of improvements, the Silky preset collection is definitely great, and it's definitely one of the best preset collections that I've had to use. Now I am a big fan of presets, and if you are looking at getting into presets, you're probably best off thinking what kind of presets are going to benefit you the most. If you're looking for something that's going to help emulate film or something like that, you might not find that kind of thing much in these presets. However, if you are into portrait or wedding photography and you do like any of these kind of looks that Liberty is getting through these presets, then definitely check out the Silky presets, you won't be disappointed. So finally, one more thing that I absolutely love about this company is their preset buying options, as you can see here. So any individual preset is $4, or you can get any 10 for $30 where you save 25%, or any 30 for $60 where you buy 50%. So not only are there these kind of pre-built collections here, it also gives you the option to completely build your own preset collections from the ground up. So if you like 5 of the shine collections and 5 of the silver collections and 5 of the soft collections, you can put all of those into one pack and create your own collection. So it's really good to have that kind of freedom and not be limited to just buy 31 presets or 30 presets when you're only going to use a handful of them. So I'd like to say a big thank you to Liberty over at Silky Presets for sending me these presets for review purposes, and she has been kind enough to offer me a promo code, so if you type Infused20 at checkout, you will receive 20% off your order. So thank you very much guys, I hope you enjoyed. Sorry about the slightly longer video, but I really didn't want to rush through it much more than I already did. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.